Hey there, get another video. This is video number 3 on this channel. So today I wanted to talk something about, well, actually it's going to be about the software development, but this problem can actually transpose to pretty much any field out there. So it's very useful tip, I would say. And basically it boils down to being aware that something exists is much better than knowing how something works in depth. And let me explain. So I, as a software developer, tend to face different problems pretty much on the daily basis, let's say. And I'm going to be specific, I'm not going to be very abstract. So basically what I needed to implement was on the backend, on the database, I had three database models. That is user, that is comment, and that is post. Okay, fine. So things tend to have relationships between the entities if we are talking about the databases. And there are couple of relationships like one-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-many, and there are these tables, join tables, whatever. And then there are some niche cases that are not very predominant in the field. Like when you have an object and an entity that references itself. This is some kind of circular model. I don't know how is it called in English, but I think you know what I mean. So when a comment references itself, it has this child-parent component to it, but it is, if you know what I'm talking about, it's kind of niche thing. It's not very out there. So I was using this Prisma, which is it is type ORM, and it is what we tend to use when we are developing like database models, database backend services, etc. And I'm pretty new at this Prisma, very new. So basically what I did, I knew what needed to be implemented, right? I have these models, everything is set, it's on paper, fine. And I have skimmed pretty much very lazily, I would say, on this Prisma document. And that was a mistake, because I was searching for something, I was implementing something that could be done much easier than if I would be aware that there was this functionality already there. So the thing exists, which basically I needed to type a couple of words and then it would solve all my problems regarding this problem, right? I didn't need to implement all these shenanigans on my own. And this is what prompted me to make this video. Just to say myself, listen, next time you deal with I don't know, different technologies or programs or languages, just go through the documentation. You don't need to know all the functionalities. You just need to be aware that they exist. And then you can use them to make your life easier. So the thing is that just be aware of things is much better than knowing how one specific functionality works in depth. I mean, that is good, that is great, yes. But as a software developer, you cannot know all these shenanigans. There are just way too many. There are algorithms for this, then for that, then there are trade-offs. And yes, you need to know the trade-offs, but you don't necessarily need to know everyone how it works. That is what I want to say. And this is very important. This is to keep you focused on the job, to be more productive, to know where the things are, what are the possibilities out there. Because if you don't know what the possibilities are, what your options are for this program or whatever, then you're going to question yourself, is this really possible? Maybe that's the case, maybe, I don't know. So yes, this, like I said, this is not necessarily only for these software engineers or developers, whatever. This can be also be implemented for real life. Like, let me think about example. You don't need to, let's say it like this. So let's say that you know some store, some like store where you buy groceries. You know where it is, and you don't need to know how it's all logistic work. You just need to go to the store and take the item, and you give them money and you go home. It's very simple example that I had to think of, and it is true, yes. And for the fellow software developers, this is very important. So just meditate over that idea, know the trade-off. For example, if you're, let's throw another example. You're learning new language, fine. So to be proficient at it, you need some time. But at the very start, yes, you write this hello world program, that is fine, that is cool. But you need to skim down to go through the documentation, know all the possibilities that the language provides to you, and what are the trade-offs to these functions, to these modules, whatever. That is very important. And I believe that is also true for something like doctors. They don't need to know just everything. They have this some kind of framework that they have, and they go by it. I'm sure, I'm not a doctor, so I'm making this up, but I'm sure that knowing that things exist is pretty much very important than know how something works, like in depth. It's good to know how things work, yes, it's great, but knowing all of it, you cannot do it. Yes, but yes, as a professional, you just need to be aware of it. And that is the point of this video. I have repeated many times these things that I wanted to say. I'm not going to repeat again. So that is the end of the video. And of course, thank you so much for watching. And until the next time, stay safe. Bye.